or through my experience the last few weeks of everything that's going on, the way I see it is 100% of the people I know, routine has dramatically changed, and probably 90 some percent of the world. So if you are a person who likes structure and likes their routine, it can be pretty overwhelming to have this shift. So the way I see it is we really have two options. Either we let this derail us, or we find a way to ride the wave and to go a little bit with the flow. So today, that's what our practice is all about. It is dedicated to riding the wave. We got a little surfers kind of vinyasa that I'm building in, and that's what we're going to be working towards for the class. So we're working up towards this bigger movement, this bigger vinyasa. So let's get started. Make your way onto your backs. As per usual, we're going to kick it off with our core work and getting our glutes engaged. So go ahead, come on down. And once you get settled, we're going to start right away by reaching the legs up to the sky. All right, so have the feet over top of the hips, and then you can just place the hands down alongside the body. All right, palms face down. If your low back is sensitive, you just bend the knees. The legs don't have to be straight. And then we'll start off nice and slow. So take a big breath in. And then on the exhale, lower the right leg about 3/4 of the way. So it doesn't have to be a hover. And then inhale back to center. Exhale, left leg lowers. All right, so we'll just keep moving. Inhale to lift. Exhale, lower. So slow motion, waking up the core and connecting movement with breath. All right, if you want to add on, then we're just going to continue to try to lower the leg closer to the earth, finding a bit more of a hover rather than 3/4. All right, don't rush. We'll go nice and slow. Let's do one more full round. The left leg will be the last one to lower. And then we come back to center. Legs stay extended. Interlace the hands behind the head. And we're going to do these crunches, but it's going to be mixed with a Kapalabhati breath. So if you're not familiar with that type of breathing, basically all it is a sharp exhale, and the inhale happens automatically. So as we crunch up, sharp exhale, and then inhale will just happen passively. Okay, so get ready, interlace the hands behind the head, and then we begin. We're going to do a round of 30 here. So just crunching up and deep exhale. Should feel the contracting of the belly. We're about halfway there. Strong breath out. Keep moving. Last 3, 2, and then 1. Release down. Pull the knees into the chest. All right, bridge pose. Lower the feet down. Remember, hip distance apart. The heels can be grazed by the fingertips. And we just lift the hips up. So starting with that relatively low bridge, maybe placing the hands on top of the hip bones and the belly, doing your check-in that we're not flaring or overextending up to the sky. And see if you can feel your shoulders or the back, upper back here resting into the mat. So the shoulders are really pushing back into the mat. We're squeezing the glutes. Let's stretch out the wrists here. Reach the fingers to the sky. Like we're holding a tray in our palms, and we come over to the right fingertips and just gently pull back. Make sure you're still breathing here. And then we'll switch sides, come over to the left fingertips, gently pull back. One more cycle here. And then release, lower down. Heel toe the feet closer together, one-legged bridge version. Left leg goes up towards the sky. Keep the heel over top of the hip. And then that right heel is secured in close to the glute. And when you're ready, push into the right foot and lift the hips up a few inches. And then we pulse, right? Little pulses, pushing through that top foot like you're trying to touch it towards the sky without putting any strain on the low back. And really ground here through the mound of your right big toe. So that's an anchor here. Last 3, 2, 1. Release down, bend the knee, switch sides. Right leg extends up. Remember that left heel is anchored in. And then we lift and we pulse. Try to relax the face here, so don't tense through the jaw. Sometimes even the eyes, we tend to sort of scrunch there through the eyebrows. So continue to pulse. Find that left toe mound, ground down for 3, for 2, and then 1. Release. Pull the knees in towards the chest. Grab behind the hamstrings and you're going to roll up to a boat pose. So another core activation. So we're on our sit bones. The feet are lifted and you should see, if you can see your screen, how flat my back is right now. We're not rounding. Chest is lifted. My spine is protected. And we're going to place the hands alongside the hips. Palms face forward or fingers face forward. All right, take a big breath in. On the exhale, we lower to the forearms, to the elbows, and then the legs go straight. So it's kind of like a low boat on our forearms. And then inhale, lift back up to the palms, pull the knees in. Again, exhale, lower. It's like a hover, drop to the elbows, and then inhale, lift. Pick up the pace here. So moving with your breath, you get kind of used to this motion, activating the core, being mindful here of the low back. All right, we got 3 more in this kind of set here. And then when you lift up, roll over to the left hip, and then same thing. We lower down. So we're getting a little bit more into the obliques. I should start to feel the burn here. Be mindful of the low back. Last 2. Final 1. Come all the way back to center. Roll to the right hip. This is it. Keep moving. Lowering to your hover. And then lifting up. Right, core is strong. Last 3, 2, and then final 1, back to center. Ground the feet down, reverse table. Fingertips continue to point forward. Push into the feet, lift the hips up. The gaze can stay up towards the sky. Glutes are active. Take a full breath in, and then exhale, go ahead, slowly release down. All right, right into our tabletop shape. So if the knees are sensitive, find your blanket, place it underneath the knees. We're going to be here for a little bit. All right, connect to your strong table, right? Check in with the back of the head. Make sure we're not dropping the chin or the chest down. And we're lifting through the back of the head. We got space for the throat, but the gaze or the eyes are towards the top of the mat. All right, we're going to start here by extending the left leg back behind you. So take a full breath in, and then exhale, just pull the left knee into the chest. Pause for a moment. Make sure you're not rounding here. The head is staying lifted in the upper back. Nothing changes. We're just moving the leg. Inhale, kick back, lengthen, and then exhale, knee to chest. All right, so keep with that action. And your challenge here, your goal is to try not to change the spine, and instead we move from the hip. Okay, last one. Re-lengthen back, left leg's long, tuck the left toes. Push into the earth so the right knee hovers. And then we lengthen, right leg goes straight, and then we pull the knee into the chest. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to chest. 3 more. Moving with the breath, so you know your options, right? If this doesn't work, then you come back to being on the knee. Last one. Re-lengthen here, and then with control, right knee lands under the hip, followed by the left knee, tabletop shape. Get a wide base here, knees are hip distance apart, and we walk the hands back and we come to rise right on top of the knees. Core is strong, squeeze the glutes, reach the hands forward, and then start to lean back here. So it's like you're pushing into the tops of the feet. We're leaning back and we're trying to keep the pelvis neutral. So I'm not pushing my hips forward. Everything's staying nice and contained. And we're starting to light up the quad muscles, using the core. And then little pulses here. Not a big movement again, but we're getting the legs fired up here. Let's do 2 more. And then rise up, release down, tabletop shape. Other side, right leg goes long behind you, heel in line with the hip, big breath in, and then exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, lengthen, so we're in our table version. Exhale, knee pulls in. All right, 2 more rounds to ensure that we're not changing the shape of the head or the spine. All right, last one here. When you're done, lengthen the leg, tuck the right toes. Push into the earth so the left knee hovers, and then we extend the left leg back, 3-legged plank. All right, exhale to pull in. Inhale, lengthen. Moving from the hip without changing the upper body. Few more cycles here. All right, last one, we lower left knee under the hip, followed by the right knee. Walk the hands back in space, rise up onto the knees, reach the hands forward, lean back here, find your containment, activating the thighs. And then this time we just invite in some arm movement. Let's reach the hands up towards the sky, big breath in, and then exhale, hands in front of the chest. Open the arms wide, full breath in, exhale, hands together. One more round. Inhale to the sky. Exhale in front. Full breath in, open. And then let's close it off. Rise up, walk the hands out. Table top shape. 10th of fingers. And then we're going to extend the right leg back behind. And we're going to step the right foot to the outside edge of the right hand. And then we come back, tabletop shape. Let's try it without extending the leg. Switch sides. Left leg goes wide, lands to the outside edge of the fingers, and then we come back. All right, pick up the pace. We're stepping the foot through, alternating sides to the top of the mat. Again, getting that action, that mobility into the hip. You got to use the core to be able to step the foot through. Final round here. Right foot comes forward. We tuck the back toes, warrior 2. As you spiral the heel down, warrior 2 feet. And then we bring the right elbow to the thigh, and the left hand goes overhead. So we're in a side angle pose here. All right, make sure the right toes are pointing forward, and the back foot is parallel with the mat. And then we reach the top hand up. Remember, lengthen more towards the sky. I don't want you to be leaning to the wall. I want you to reach to the sky. Imagine like you have a block between the hands or this big ball of energy. And we start to straighten out the front leg, pivot the toes in, and we open towards the back. We're going to draw this big circle. Come through center. It's kind of like we're side lunging. Inhale, open to the sky. Come all the way to the back as you exhale. All right, so keep moving. See if you can get that rhythm. The pivoting on the toes to make that happen. Come all the way back to the top of the mat, plank pose. As we pivot around, landing the palms down. Lawnmower pose. Right elbow to the sky. And then release it down. Switch sides, left and release. Keep moving. One more each side. Right elbow. Left elbow. Try not to sway. All right, lower the hands down. Option to lower the knees. Keep the toes tucked. We come all the way to the belly. Toes stay tucked. Thighs and the knees are lifted. We're strong here through the low body, cobra pose. Inhale to lift the heart up. Lower about an inch and then push into plank or table your transition. And then downward facing dog, hips to the sky. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Shift forward, plank pose. Option to do this on your knees, tenting the fingers like we did for our first round. Or if you're ready to amp it up, we can do this in plank. We start, left foot steps forward, wide outside the hand or behind the wrist, and then we step back plank. Right foot forward, high push-up. Keep moving, left foot, and then the right foot. Alternating, side to side, really using the hip crease. Left foot comes forward, hold it there. Warrior 2 legs, back heel spirals down, and we rise up. Left elbow to the thigh, right hand overhead. Right, imagine the shoulders stacking on top of one another. The shoulders in line with the hips, and then we reach the bottom hand up. Lengthen towards the sky, and a little bit over to the left. Right, get that block between the palms, that imaginary thing that we're going to squeeze, and we rise up, reach to the sky, straighten out the front leg, and we pivot towards the back, kind of like a side lunge. Shift along the mat, rise back to the front, big circle up and around. all the way to the back. All right, move a little bit quicker. One more circle here. This time, come all the way to the top. High push-up pose. Land the palms, step back. Lawnmower pulls. Left hand to the sky, left elbow. Release. Right and release. One more each side. Final one on the right. Lower the hands down. Come to the belly with control. Keep the toes tucked. Lift the knees and the thighs. And then rise into a cobra, just lifting the heart up slightly. Lower half an inch and then push. Plank pose. Strong here. Downward facing dog, hips to the sky. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Walk the feet closer to the hands. Let's take a nice short down dog stance. Rise slightly onto the toes. Shift forward like halfway into a plank so the hips are still lifted. We look to the top of the mat. Right foot steps forward, followed by the left foot. They're hip distance apart. Bend the knees. You're going to rise to stand. Hands alongside the body. Pop up to the toes. Almost like you're trying to spring off here, but the toes stay connected. And then we lower the heels, palms to the earth. Left foot steps back. Right foot steps back. All right. That halfway down dog plank. Left foot forward. Right foot forward, spring up here, rise to the toes, dynamic, and then release. Palms come down, left, right foot back. Last one, right foot forward, left foot forward. This time spring up and we take these little pops, right? So it's not really a jump squat. I want you to feel that rebound into the earth. And it's like the second we land, we're pushing off, firing up the calves, point the toes. Last 3, 2, quick reaction here. 1, sink down, lower into a chair pose, bend the elbows, palms in line with the chest, open to the left, goddess, and then we open to the back, chair, goddess, elbows go wide, center, top of the mat, close it off, chair pose, keep moving, open, close, take the pause out, go a little faster. If you get dizzy, go slow. Last one, let's go back to center. Goddess squat, hands to the hips. Adjust, make sure toes point out, heels are in, hands to the hips. Lift the right heel and then lower it down. Left heel lifts and lowers. One more each side. Catch your breath. I know I'm feeling it. Sink as low as you can, goddess, hold. Option to lift both heels. Drop a little lower, full breath in. And then exhale, we release the heels and we pivot to the top of the mat, crescent lunge with a bent knee at the back. Check in with the pelvis and the core. Hands to the hips. If you have healthy knees, little pulses here. It's like a little static lunge, pulsing, firing up that back glute. Last 3, 2, and then final one, palms come down, step back, high push-up pose. All right, let's get ready. This is our surfer's vinyasa. We're gonna ride our wave, lower to the earth. We'll do the first one really slow, so come to the belly. It's a locust pose, hands come back, everything hovers. So locust, imagine like you're on your surfboard and we're paddling out to catch that nice big wave. If you haven't surfed before, that's okay. Bring in that imagination, hands under the shoulders. First one, we're gonna modify, come to the knees, tabletop shape. Right foot steps forward. We tuck the back toes, pivot to the left, side lunge. All right, we're riding our wave now. This is us surfing. Come back to center, land the hands, step back plank. Lower to the belly, locust pose. Riding out on the board, everything hovers, we reach. Palms under the shoulders. You can take the modified by going to table or we go to plank. Left foot comes forward and then we side lunge to the right. Ride the wave. One more each side. Come back to center. Plank pose. Lower to the belly with control. One long line. Locust. Inhale. Lift. Palms under the shoulders. Table or plank. Right foot steps forward. Side lunge to the back. Going faster. Top of the mat. Step back. Lower. Locust. This is our final round. Palms under the shoulders. Plank pose. Left foot forward. Side lunge to the right. All the way back to the top of the mat. Step back, downward facing dog. Catch your breath, full breath in, full breath out. Walk the feet in. We got that full round on the other side. You're gonna rise onto the toes. We shift halfway forward, look to the top, right foot forward, left foot forward, spring to the toes. All right, we lift and then we plant the palms, left foot back, right foot back. Right, left foot forward, right foot, spring up here like you're gonna shoot off the mat, and then we step back. Final one, right, left, spring up, and then we find our pops. Really quick reaction. It's not about height, it's about how quick can you pop up after the toes hit the ground. Find those big toe mounds for 3, for 2, and then 1. Sink down. Chair pose version. Bend the elbows, hands in line with the chest. Open to the right. Goddess squat. And then we open to the back. Chair, close the elbows. All right, open to the front or side. And then open to the front. Keep moving. Goddess. Chair to the back. Goddess. Chair to the front. Take out the pause. I keep flowing from side to side. All right, then we're going to meet goddess squat. I'm going to face you guys. Drop in, hold, hands to the hips. Left heel lifts and lowers. Right heel and lower down. Keep moving. Left side and then the right side. Yeah, drop into the hips, sink nice and low. Option to lift both heels. See if you can drop in a little bit more. And then release, the feet come down. Pivot to the left, crescent lunge. So you guys are facing the top. We got a bend in the back knee. Stay here or you pulse. Little movement up and down, catching the breath a little bit while the legs start to burn. Last one here, sink down, land the palms, surfers vinyasa, our final one. High push-up pose. Lower to the earth, one long line, locust shape, arms sweep back, everything hovers. First one, let's do slow. Hands under the shoulders. Remember your modification. Push to table, left foot steps through, and then we side lunge to the right. Okay, come all the way back, top of the mat. Land the hands, high push up, lower down, pick up the pace. Locust, inhale. Table or plank, exhale. Right foot forward, side lunge left. One more, each side. Should have your own rhythm now. If it's too much to do, 4 full rounds, then just skip it and do 1. All right, I'm side lunging right. I got 1 more round now. Stepping back, lower, locust, inhale, hands under the shoulders. My final one, right foot comes through, side lunge left. Come all the way around, back to the top, step back, downward facing dog. Woo! Take a full breath in through the nose, and then open the mouth, let it go. Let's walk the hands back towards the feet. Take a little ragdoll here at the back of the mat. Folding forward, let the head fall heavy. You can grab for opposite elbows, little rock from side to side. Don't worry, we're going to get the heart lifted in a moment. All right, back to center, bend the knees. Use the help of the hands to rise up. Right, take your time. I don't want you to feel lightheaded here. And let's just stand for a moment in our mountain pose. Catch our breath. Whew, that was a big push there for me. Slow the heart down. You can close the eyes if you feel steady in this stance. And we're going to use our breath to help cool the body off. So if you're familiar with lion's breath, that's what we're going to take. If you're not, all you're going to do when I cue you to exhale is open the mouth and stick out the tongue. And make a nice big release noise. So all together, take a full breath in through the nose, fill up. And then open the mouth, stick out the tongue. Let's do that again. One more time. Inhale. Lion's breath. Go ahead, reach the hands towards the sky. Big breath in. And then on the exhale, let's fold forward. Just softly come back down to the earth. Land the fingertips. Halfway lift, palms towards the shins. Big breath in. And then exhale, fold. Walk the hands out. We're going to land in our table. Lower the knees down. We cool it off. Our cat-cow motion, dropping the belly, lift the heart, big breath in. And then exhale, just a little rounding here, push the earth away. All right, 2 more rounds. So if you need anything else here, I want you to take it. Let your body intuitively tell you what it wants today. We got 1 more full cycle of breath. Whenever you're done, that last exhale, come back to center. We'll pivot around all the way onto the hips. Landing the feet. We're going to do a thread the needle or figure 4. If you feel like your heart is still moving rather quickly, then do this seated. We'll cross the left ankle over the right thigh. And if you prefer to come onto your backs, you can do that as well. Right, your option. When I'm seated here, I like to sway a little bit. I find it feels nice to just have a gentle little rock from left to right. Massaging a little bit more into the hips. And really, really just trying to kind of cue the breath to slow down. Really lengthening out the exhales. And when you've had enough, we'll come back to center. If you're seated, you're just going to start to straighten out the right leg. We're going to come into a twist. So the left foot comes down to the earth. It's crossed over top of the right. We're hugging the knee in, and then it's just a gentle twist towards the left so the fingertips can come behind you like this little tent. Support. Spine should be long. We're not rounding. We're reaching the top of the head to the sky, and we just take a twist really gentle to the left. It's going to help cool the body down. Take 1 more full breath in. And then exhale. Let's come back to center. Right, release. You can do this twist if you're on your back. You don't have to rise up. Right, figure 4 on the other side. So it'll be the right ankle over top of the left knee. You adjust that bottom heel as close into the glutes as you'd like. And then if it felt good before, if you're seated, you can rock from side to side. And remember, if you're on your back, you can stay there and just do the twist. A few more cycles here in our figure 4. Back to center. We extend left leg long, getting ready for our twist. You might want to use the help of the hands to just pull the right knee a little closer. And then this time we rotate towards the right. Sitting up tall, use that little kickstand. The right hand behind the spine. And while you're here, on the inhale, imagine like you're getting a little bit taller, twisting just a little bit deeper, like a micro movement. And the exhale, you hold that twist. All right, 1 more full breath in. This time release, come all the way back to center, and we let it go. Unraveling the legs. Your option here, we'll get ready to close out our time together. If I were you, I would do legs up the wall right now, or even a supported waterfall, which is just lying on the back and having the palms underneath the sacrum, or the palms facing down and the legs up. Might be a nice way to release any tension that might be building through the low body. Wherever you are, find a place of rest, either seated or on your back, and I invite you to close your eyes down so we can wrap up our time together here. And you begin to just settle into your own stillness. And And take a moment to really just appreciate your body, this gift of strength, the balance that we have within our own joints, our muscles. Finding this gratitude in itself for being able to be on your mat today, being able to show up and move your body. And as your day, your week comes your way, remember that you are in control. You're in the driver's seat of this thing called life. And instead of feeling perhaps like life has kind of completely derailed right now, and we make that conscious choice to ride the wave, establish our new rhythm, our new flow throughout our day. Imagining what it's like to be sitting on a beach and just watching the water rise and fall, how effortless and how free that motion is. And can we just replicate that and soak that a little bit deeper into this experience that we're all going through together? Please take your time. You stay wherever you are for however long you've had this morning. Remember, this time, this Savasana, the closing of our practice, this is where all of the benefits of yoga come into play. So don't rush your exit. See if you can stay wherever you are for at least 10 more cycles of breath. Soaking in the bliss of your own stillness. Thank you, everyone, so much for the love that you've shared with me, for your feedback on these classes. Remember, if you want to continue to yoga with us, we have our virtual yoga subscription now available through HAMSA. In the chat box, there's a link there that you can get more details. I will see you back here Wednesday, 9:30 a.m. for our second final Yoga Fit class. Have a beautiful day, you guys. We'll see you soon. Namaste.